All right, real quick, if you know the make model of this rotary cutter, let us know down below. We're going to test your knowledge. Thanks for tuning in today. We're going to be doing some cutting of some taller grass down in our wetlands with the Kubota LX2610. And then we're also going to take it up into the garden. It's pretty much a weed garden at this point. And we're going to get some paths cleaned out in there so we can get in there with the weed whacker and clean up that garden. Enjoy the video. Today we're using the 5-foot bush hog squealer and the Kubota LX2610. We're going to mow off some of our wet areas. As you can see here, my neighbor and my property, we have a couple acres of this. This is the driest section of the wet area on my property, so I like to do this first. Depending on how wet it is, determines if I'll do the rest of the property. We did this last year. We had much better conditions last year. It didn't rain for about 2 months and it was very hot. So this was almost completely dry when we came through here, but it's a little wet today. On top of the conditions being much worse, the grass is taller, it's very wet. We're running a 26 horsepower or 25 horsepower Kubota LX2610 with a 5-foot bush hog that doesn't have a slip clutch. Last year, before we sold it, we had the John Deere 3046R with a 72-inch Mahindra bush hog with a slip clutch. This is working through, but I'm noticing I'm having to lift up the bush hog just to get through some of the wet areas where it's really tall, whereas the John Deere 3046R just blew right through it. So we're going to be looking for a bush hog. Still are looking for one. We're making it through it with this one, but I'd like to get one that has a slip clutch about the same size as this. So if you guys have any recommendations, let me know. Send me an email, whatever. But we're going to keep this rolling. We only have a little bit more we're going to do. We're going to do this patch from here to here. Past that, it's going to be too wet just based off of how it is in here. That area is much wetter. It's going to be too wet for us to get in there. So we'll get this mowed off. It's supposed to be dry for the next week. Maybe we'll be able to get in here in the zero turn in a week or two to get it really short. right, that's going to wrap it up for today's video. Just real quick, I want to talk about this tractor. No issues really mowing down in through here in the wetlands. It's got the 4-wheel drive, and at some points I put the locker on. It's 26 horsepower as compared to the 46 horsepower John Deere we had last year for this project, but it made it through. If it's struggling at all, you can just let off the hydrostatic pedal and lift the bush hog up. If you're going to be doing this type of work on a regular basis, mowing wet grass like this down in the mud, or maybe you're commercial, I think you might want to go with the 40 horsepower LX, the 4020, or maybe something a little more powerful or bigger. But for us, our needs, we're not mowing too much. We're not bush hogging too much, maybe 2-3 days a year. So this will get through it. Really nice having the cab with the air conditioning. You know, there's been a couple times where I've seen wasps flying around. I'm sure I've hit wasp nests. You don't got to worry about that when you have a cab. So if you're going to be bush hogging a lot, I recommend getting a cab. Other than that, this has been absolutely phenomenal. We're looking at probably upgrading our rotary cutter at some point. This doesn't have a slip clutch. The slip clutch really makes it nice when you hit something, instead of having to come out and change a shear bolt back here. You can just, it'll automatically re-engage with the clutch. So appreciate you guys watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. We're gonna have a couple more videos, or at least one video probably yet, of where we're mowing the rest of the property. And now that this is somewhat trimmed, we'll be able to get in there with the 0 turn and really get it looking nice as long as it's dry. So make sure you guys get outside today. Look at this weather. It's Pennsylvania weather here in Hershey, Pennsylvania. You can't beat it. Make sure you guys get outside today. Get out with your dogs, get out with your family, and enjoy the day. Thanks for watching.